Hello, my name is Marissa and I'm one of the educators from the Springfield Museum of Art. Today I will be going over a lesson plan about self-portraits and symbolism. Feel free to pause this video at any moment so that you are able to complete a step. In this lesson, I will be talking about why artists use symbols in their artwork and why different artists' portraits look different. I will also go through the steps of creating a self-portrait and what should be included in the artwork. At the end, you will also be able to write an essay on what you created. Before I start the lesson, the materials that you will need are a piece of paper of any kind and something to draw with like paint, color pencils, markers, or crayons. I will be talking a lot about portraits. What is a portrait? A portrait is a painting, drawing, photograph, or engraving of a person. What do you think a self-portrait is? A self-portrait is a portrait of an artist that is created by the artist. We will be talking more about self-portraits and how to create them, but also how artists put symbols in their self-portraits. A symbol is a thing that represents or stands for something else. For example, the American flag is a symbol for the United States. Another example is that a four-leaf clover can be a symbol of luck, or a light bulb is a symbol for an idea. Let's take a look at some self-portraits and explain why each of them looks different and what symbols they have included. In this first artwork by Thomas Sylvester Hoffman that is titled Mini-Me, we see the artist is directly looking at us while he is painting. Why do you think it is important for Sylvester to be holding a paintbrush? Does that mean he is the artist? In this artwork, the painter is holding his paintbrush and creating his artwork because he is the artist. If we take a look at the artwork again, we can see that the artist is looking directly at us. Why do you think the artist decided to look at us? Does this painting look real? It does look realistic. Do you think that it is important that this painting looks realistic? Why or why not? Do you see any other symbols in this artwork? What do you think these symbols represent? Now let's take a look at another self-portrait. This artwork is called The Rhinoceros, and it is done by the artist James C. Christensen. This artwork is considered to be a self-portrait of the artist. Why do you think the artist would want to show himself as a rhinoceros? Christensen explained that he showed himself as a rhinoceros because rhinoceroses are a symbol of age. When you think of a rhinoceros, do you usually think of it as being young or old? Christensen thought of himself getting old and what would happen when he got older. Where is the rhinoceros? It looks like he is trapped in a room. This is also another symbol that Christensen put into his artwork. Along with the rhinoceros, Christensen shows that getting old and being trapped are his biggest fears. Do you see any other objects in this painting that could be a symbol? Now it is time to create our own self-portraits. I want you to brainstorm some ideas of what you would like to include with your self-portrait. Feel free to pause on this slide to read over the questions and write down different ideas that you have. Think about what is important in your life right now and what hobbies you have. For me, I like to play the piano, so I might include music notes or a piano in my artwork. Other things to think about are what are some important issues or values you have. One example is that I value the friends in my life and it is important to me that everyone is kind. That means I might include friends in my artwork, or I could draw a friendship necklace on myself. Take some time to think about what you would like to include into your self-portrait and what symbols that you are able to use. So now I will show you one way that you are able to make your self-portrait. This is just one suggestion on how to make your self-portrait. Feel free to use any other techniques or styles to be able to create your self-portrait instead. For this one, it will be a self-portrait of your full face, so it looks like that you are looking at the viewer. And for this, you'll need to get a plain piece of paper, it doesn't matter what size it is, and a ruler. And what you'll want to do is you'll want to measure each side of the paper. So for this bottom right here, it is 11 inches, and all you have to do is go to the midpoint or the halfway point of this, okay? and you put a dot there, and then you do the same on the other side of the paper. And you measure it out just the same exact way. Then you want to go to this other sides of the paper. So this one is 15 inches, and you'll want to put a dot in the middle as well. Make sure you do this for both sides of your paper like you did before. Now what you'll want to do is, with those 2 dots that you created, go ahead and line up those 2 dots so that you are able to make a straight line. So there's one line, and then you'll want to do the same for the other 2 dots that you have created. Just like this. Perfect. All right, now you have a grid so that you're able to plan out how you want your face and where it should go. So the shape of your face isn't round. It's kind of an oval shape. So when you do this, go ahead and make an oval shape around here. Make sure that you look in the mirror to see what shape your head is, and that will help you figure out how you should draw your head. So feel free to take as much time on this. It's not going to be perfect the first time, so just go ahead and try out a couple of different styles. Then we made this grid line in the middle of your head so that we are able to know where to put the eyes. So we are going to put the eyes on that line just like this. Again, make sure that you are looking in the mirror so you know where your eyes kind of go on your head and how big you should make them. Perfect. Now we need a nose. For the nose, go ahead and it will be on the center line right here. So we add the nose just like this. Make sure you're looking at that mirror so that you know what shape your nose is like. Oh, and again, it's not going to be 100% perfect. Mine looks a little bit silly, but again, you can just erase it. That's why I do it in pencil, and then just kind of make sure that is the correct shape. And the last thing that we need to add is the mouth. So we go down, and in the middle is where the middle of your lips is going to go. So go ahead and trace out your lips. Again, make sure you're looking in that mirror to see how big you should make your lips. Make it look like you. My lips are kind of big, so that's why I kind of went for a bigger lip. Now we need to add the bottom part. So that includes the neck. So go ahead and add your neck in just like this. Kind of curve it out as it goes into the shoulder. And then you add the shoulder into it. And I want mine to look like I'm wearing a t-shirt, so I'm going to add a neckline right here for my shirt. Now the last step that I need to add is my hair. So go ahead and you can add your hair just like this. So my hair covers my ears. So if your hair does not cover your ears, you can always add ears. Your ears will actually just go right here and they will line up along with your eyes. So you can just add an ear just like that. But since my hair always covers my ears, I'm just going to draw my hair around the ears. Once you are done with that, you can go ahead and erase all of these major lines. That includes the head where my hair is covering it, kind of the grid line that we made to be able to know where to put our eyes, nose, and mouth. Erase all those lines before you start painting so that we don't see them in the final product. So this is my final product of my self-portrait. As you can see, I erased all of the lines so that you are not able to see them, and I added a symbol into it. So make sure that you are still thinking about those symbols to add into your artwork before you finish coloring it. Here I have a couple of examples of what you can do with your self-portrait. In this first self-portrait that I just did the side of my face so it looks like I'm imagining things. So I'm imagining stars because I always love looking up in the stars, and it can also symbolize using your imagination. I also included a heart to mean friendship, an artist palette because of my love of art, a peace sign because that is my favorite symbol to draw, a music note because I like to play the piano, and a cookie because that is my favorite treat. Here is another self-portrait that I did, and this one is of my full face instead of just half my face. And as you can see, I'm wearing a necklace, and that is a friendship necklace that symbolizes me and my best friend. Once you are finished with your artwork, you are going to write about it. Write an essay on what you created and the symbols that you included. If you do not feel comfortable writing an essay, try writing a short paragraph instead. Write about what symbols you included in your artwork. Talk about why and how you chose those items. And make sure you include a title for your artwork as well. After you have finished your self-portrait and your essay, think about some of these questions. What was the hardest part of this activity? Why was it so hard? What was the most enjoyable part of this activity? Why are symbols important in helping us understand an issue or idea? Why is it important for artists to include symbols in their works? Do you think symbols help people relate to or understand your works better? Thanks for joining me today in creating a self-portrait. Look for more lesson plans from our education department here at the Springville Museum of Art. You can find a printed copy of this lesson plan in the links below, as well as a link to our website for other resources. We would love to see the artwork that you created today. Find us on social media at Springville Museum and use the hashtag Springville Lesson Plan. Please join us again next time. Thanks!